Greetings, programmers. So now we are ready to refactor our working code that computes day of the week into some methods. So as I look through this code, I have a section I've commented get inputs, a section I've commented steps, and then a section that does output. And I didn't put this in comments, but this is really where we do mapping. Those all actually seem like great places to put in some methods. So let's do the mapping first. So what does this do? So as I create a method, I'm going to give it a name first. It needs to be static. I'm going to put in void for right now. I don't know what the return type I want it to be, but what is this going to do? It is going to map day number into string, text. I'll say string. Day number into string. So the input, I know I want to be a number. It's going to be an integer. And I can call that day of week. So that's going to be my formal. Apologies for that. Now, one of the dangers of recording a video with a dog in the house. So here is my first function, map day number into string. I know I want to pass in a day of the week, and I want to get back what that name is. So that will be a string. So what am I going to do in here? All of this code, right? All of this code is just local, or can be local to here. So this is going to be, I don't need this string weekday anymore. Or no, excuse me, I do need the string weekday. But this day of week, yeah, since I called it the same thing here, this value passed in is going to be the one I work with here. Let me get rid of this extra space there. And then I need to return weekday. And now I'm going to call this method string, and I'll go ahead and call it weekday because that's what I called it down here, equals map day number into string, and I will pass in day of week. And that should not change any of the output of my code. Let's check that out. So I think this was a Tuesday last time. Yep. And I can go through and run all of my test cases. I'm just going to run one here. 1980, 12, 8th of December is a Monday. Yep, so that still works. So now I've refactored this code to have a method. Map day number into string, which makes my main just a little bit more readable. Now I have all of these steps in here that I think I can refactor. What are they doing? They're really, all of this is taking the information that I have with month, day, and year and turning it into a day of the week. So if I have another method, it needs to be static since main is static. I don't know what I want to return yet, but I want to compute the day of the week. So let's call it that, compute day, compute day of week. What do I need to pass in? Well, I need to know what the year, the month, and which is an integer, and the day. And then once I know that, I can compute a day of the week, which will be an integer, right? So I'll return an integer. And then I'm going to take that integer and pass it into my map day number into string. So let's call this, well, that's not what I did before. So where do I first get day, month, and year? I get them up here, then I keep copies, and then I start doing calculations. So here's my calculations. Let me take all of that out and put it inside compute day of week. So we have month, year, day, but we also have this day of week. So I can just declare that there and then return day of week. Alright. That seems like it should work. So now I need to call this up where, here's where this was. I initialized day of week to be 5, a Friday. I can still do that, I guess, but then I need to reset it. Day of week equals the compute day of week, and I'll pass in the month. Nope, first thing I need to pass in is the year, and then the month, and then the day. Let's see if that works. Yep, that's a Tuesday. So feeling good about that. But now I can go back, and the reason that I put these in to begin with was because I was changing their values. Now, since I have these parameters being passed in, they're being passed by value because they're primitive types. They're not going to change. So I don't need these anymore. They're just extra stuff. And now instead of saying original year, I can just say year. Instead of original month, I can just say month. And day, I can just say day. Let's make sure that still works. And it does. So I've significantly shortened my main class with compute day of week. And then also map number into string. Drop that point there. So this main code is a lot shorter now. I could probably factor out a few more methods. I could probably do ones to get the year, get the month, get the day, but I wouldn't get rid of nearly as much code as I would here. The output would be another one that would, might be a good option for factoring out, but I'll leave both of those as exercises for you guys if you want to continue on. But this is a good way to factor these out. So again, let's take a look at that whole bit of code there. So there's my main, which is the same all the way up until we have our day of week initialization. Then we call compute day of week. Compute day of week is this bit of code, exact same code, but now we're passing in these parameters. You know what? Let's have another video where we change these parameter names so that we can see a difference from our regular code.